What's your name? What do you do? What is this?
So my name is Julian Rodriguez, Julian the Barber. I cut hair and I've been doing this for about 4 years.
4 years. So how old are you right now?
I'm 19.
You're 19, so you've been doing this since you were around what, 15?
That's 16. I'm gonna be 20 this year, so.
So 16.
Yeah.
So you're 16.
Yeah.
How did like all start off? Like, was it just like you were just trying to cut hair? Did you like someone give you some clippers? Like, how did
It started with me from my first time going to a barbershop, bro. I loved the vibe. I loved how everybody was there, just hella chill, was talking with each other, having people in and out, having a connection with them. And I had a connection with my first barber, and I just thought it was super chill, so decided to get myself a pair of clippers and start that route.
Tell me more about like, how you said you started off just cutting hair like randomly by just like getting your first clippers. Like walk me through your first haircut. Who was it? Like, was it like a family friend? Was it your dog?
It was my brother-in-law Luis. I had posted free haircuts and nobody was hitting me back up. So he was like, fuck it, dude, let's do it. So I cut his hair and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't faded good,
Yeah.
But nobody's gonna get a pair of clippers and freaking beat bars the first time.
So how long was it? Like, you said you were cutting hair at the start, like just off of like what you knew.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how'd you like progress? Like, how did like you become like as to now? Like, you're over here getting clients like every week. Like, you're doing this, and like it's like becoming something stable in life. So like, how did that go?
With a lot of people's help. Started going to barber school my junior year of high school. It was once a week on Mondays, and a lot of people there, they're already cutting hair, and they knew that I had barely started. And they all gave me like little steps. They told me to watch certain YouTube videos. Just keep going. It's gonna be a slow process, but keep fighting through it, and eventually you'll start getting booked up. And finally got my apprenticeship license, and I started working at a barbershop my senior year. And the barbershop owner also gave me a lot of tips, told me how to hustle right, and how to keep it going. And that's just what I've been doing, bro. Just keep hustling, keep it going.
So you said like it was just a consistency. That's basically
Yeah.
what it is at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like so this is episode 3 for like I didn't say at the beginning, but this is episode 3 for our culture. Basically, like it's to show you guys that like consistency. Like the past 2 episodes got before Alex, what's it called, Fruta Loca, and then first Gio, Different Style. Like, it's just consistency. Like, out of everybody, like that's literally just what it is.
Yeah.
And like people need to know that, because it's like if you're not consistent with what you do, you're gonna fall off. It really is like that.
Nobody's gonna jump into a job and be perfect right away. Nobody's gonna have 100 clients their first time. Nobody's gonna be big for the first time. Everybody has to build up that way, and that's what usually tosses people down. They don't want to keep working because they're seeing they're working and they're busting their ass off, and they don't see a difference until a couple years. And their first year, they're like, they don't want to keep it going. And that's how I saw it, bro. When I first started cutting, I wasn't that old, so I didn't really need money, but I would be getting like 2 haircuts in a week. For someone starting at an age like 20. They're not gonna be able to do that. They can't fucking have 2 haircuts in a week and live off of that, So it's good to also start earlier, but it's also good to know never to give up, bro. Just keep going, keep grinding.
That shit's 2 haircuts a week. That's barely for one DoorDash order.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, dude.
But yeah, how you saying, like, even if you're older, like, you just keep chasing at it, honestly, like, but. Like, how you said, like, that's tough on you, just 2 haircuts a week. Like, was there a time that you felt, like, discouraged with this shit? Like, that's why I've been asking the past interviews.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
That's, like, one that I want, like, people to know that. And people probably thinking my questions are repetitive. But it's, like, you gotta know. You gotta, like, talk about this, because it's, like, that's a side that people don't see, and that's the most important side. Like, so, what part discouraged you? Like, was there a point of life? Like, you're like, bro, I'm not making enough with these cuts. Like, I'm gonna quit this shit. I'm gonna chase something else. Like, what was it? And like, you're still doing this, so that means you did something. So like, walk us through that. What was it?
So when I first started working at the barbershop, I would get walk-ins, and I would have to share walk-ins with another barber there. So I was also getting like fucking 4-5 haircuts in a week, and I'd still have to pay rent at the end of the week for the shop. So, you know, at first I was just like, man, do I want to keep doing this? But I just kept going through it, bro. It's just eventually I knew that eventually I was gonna start getting a good amount of clients. So that mentality of me knowing, you know, eventually in a couple years I'm gonna be charging this much, I'm gonna be having this many clients a certain day. That's the mentality that kept me going, bro. I'm seeing all these different barbers. I'm knowing that they didn't start like how they are now. You know, they built up to that. So that's what's kept me going, bro.
So like you said, you've been doing this almost for 4 years. So what year was it like? What year do you think it shifted to being able like to do this as, like it was like at the point, because you're still growing and that's the most important people I need to know. You're gonna still be growing. You still, there's shit like once you reach like you think you reach the top, there's still more to reach. Like the sky's the limit, honestly. So like what point did you think, was it like the second year, first year, like you felt like it was more like towards like, oh damn, like am I, like when did you see your work was finally paying off? Like you sat there and like you saw it finally. Or you still haven't felt like you reached that? And it's okay, bro. Like
Still haven't felt like I reached that, bro.
not yet.
I've definitely seen progress, and I've probably my second year is when I saw a good amount of progress with clients and my haircuts. But till this day, I haven't seen myself perfect yet. Not
So
to where I want
like,
to be.
it's still like like a progress that you want.
Yeah.
But you've been seeing progress throughout this years. Like
For sure.
if
Yeah.
if there wasn't progress, you probably wouldn't be doing this right now.
Yeah.
Because it's like at the end of the day, like it's a passion, but at the same time, like how I've said in the past interviews, like there's bills to pay. There's shit like
Exactly.
the world don't stop just for you, bro. Like I've been telling like other people, like I feel like I have a young audience with like all the people I have on social media, like a lot of high schoolers watching my shit. So it's like I just want to set something up for them, like to be able to think like, oh, okay, like this might be like something that I'm into, so this might be something that I like, and if not, like they could take something from this. But like more like off of that a little bit, like what do you like? What was like one thing that you still think, like I ask people like the pros and cons to like their like profession, like what do you think is like a con to this? Like it doesn't have to be like, oh, like it sucks, but something that like when you do it, you're like, man, like I wish it was different. Like does it make sense?
Standing up all day, dude.
Standing up all day?
Standing up all day. Holy shit, that shit. It gets to your back, bro. Especially my lower back. Picky clients too, bro. To the point where they're like, oh, yo, this, and that, like 4 or 5 times. And it's like, let me do my job first, and then, you know, afterwards tell me. Other than that, I think
what are like the pros that like the reason why you fell in love with this?
Talking to a lot of different people, knowing a lot about them, getting more connects, you know, to a lot of different jobs and all that. A lot of people paint houses, a lot of people are plumbers, a lot of people are gardeners, and it's all different type of people in my clientele. And you know, it's useful to know people like that, and it's also good to like help them out as they're helping you. That's what I love about this job.
It's like you're never like boxed in, and let's say diverse, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's like a room for like everything. You meet different types of people and like different like paths of life, and like you just like you get a little bit out of them, like through your like 30 to an hour haircut, and like you just feel like they gave you a little piece of what they got, and you give them a little piece of what you have.
Exactly.
That makes perfect sense.
There's always a connection. There's always a connection with the client.
What do you have like? What do you think like in the next year? Like, what's your goal for your barber shop? Like your barber business? Like, what's your goal? Like, do you have like what do you want to do with this in a year? Where do you want to be in a year?
So hopefully in a year I'll have my license. I went through a lot of struggle with getting my license because my first school did me dirty, and I did 2 years for no reason. So I'm starting again, and I need another year. But eventually, after I get my license, I want to go to this one shop called Los Barberos. They offered me a job, and the job's still standing, and I feel like it's a good place there.
You feel like you fit their style of what they represent. You feel like it's like a glove.
Yeah.
You fit the perfect spot.
Yeah.
So you see, basically, you want to be with your license in a year, and you want to be at a barbershop, basically.
Yeah, I want to be at another barbershop.
I mean, that's perfect, honestly. What do you think, like, is like something you want to like tell the youth, like to give them a little tip, like one thing that, like if I told you like one thing you could tell them, just one thing, what would you tell them?
Find your passion, keep grinding to it, and you can make a job eventually. And you won't work a day in your life technically, because you're gonna be loving what you're doing, and just put positive out in the world, man. Positive will come back to you.
So, what can you say was like your maniest, like craziest story, like experience with the haircut? Like, it doesn't have to be like you messed someone's haircut up. Like, it happens, but no. But, like, what was your maniest haircut story?
So one day I had one of my boys come, and he was trying to quit smoking, and I asked him, I was like, hey bro, you know, did you quit or you're still smoking? He was like, oh, I smoke here and there if it's offered. I was like, so you want to hit my wax pen? And he was like, yeah. So he hits it, and I see him like he's kind of like dozing off. I was like, you good, bro? And he's like, yeah. And he puts his leg up here, and then he goes like this, and he was just sitting like this for a while. So I stopped cutting his hair, and after a while he just started leaning forward, and boom, passes out, dude.
Did he smack himself on the floor?
Yeah, he smacked himself so hard on the floor that it gushed him open right here on the nostrils, bro, like on top of the nostrils, on the nose. And I was hella scared, dude. I grabbed him, I was like, bro, wake up. And he was probably like passed out for a good like 30, 40 seconds. And I was just freaking scared, bro. I was trying to like feel a pulse, bro, but I don't know how to check that shit, so I didn't feel nothing, bro. And I was like, fuck. Like, what if I killed this dude? Not even from the wax pen, but from how hard he smacked his face on the floor. And I grabbed him and I tried putting him on the office chair that you're sitting in.
Yeah.
And as soon as I put him on there, it rolled back, so he fell again. And then when he fell, he like kind of got a little bit more conscious. And I was like, bro, wake up, you good? And he was just acting like a baby, bro. He was like, no, I don't want to wake up, leave me alone. And I was just like, bro, what? So I kind of left him there. And that's when I noticed that like he was bleeding a lot from his nose, and it was from the top. And it was like that he opened it, not even like from his nostril. Yeah. It was from the top. And then I was like, damn, bro, I think you broke your nose. And then as soon as I said that, he like started getting more conscious. He's like, what, bro? And he stood up. He was like, think I broke my nose? And he was just hella worried about his nose. And I was asking him, like, you good, dude? Like, do you remember what happened? And he was like, dude, I just remember you were giving me a haircut and we were talking. I just remember waking up on the floor now. And I'm like, what the hell? I was like, have you ate anything? Have you drank any water, nothing? He was like, nah, bro, I just woke up. Excuse me. And I was like, fuck. So I brought him a banana and a water bag. And then I was like, you good at drive? And he was like, think you can still finish my haircut, bro? So I was like, what? I was like, dude, are you good? And he was like, yeah, bro, just give me a couple minutes. So I gave him a couple minutes, and he sat back on the chair, and I tried cutting him like super fast, bro. I was just worried. And then I finished him up, and he went to his car, and my next client had gotten here. And then he calls me. He was like, hey, bro, you think you'd drive me home? I'm not good. I'm like, damn, bro. So I tell my next client, which was luckily one of my boys too. And I was like, hey, bro, you think you'd pick me up from his house? I have to drive him home in his car. Drove him home all the way to Concord, bro, and I had my boy pick me up from there.
Yeah, bro.
The craziest story.
Just a little disclosure. Do you still cut him?
Yeah, I do.
You still cut him?
Yeah, I still do.
So that's a little message for the kids. Don't do wax if you're on an empty stomach. Eat some food, bro.
Yeah.
Or tell them how you feeling if some shit's going on, bro.
Oh, definitely, dude. Don't say you're good, bro. Just tell me and we can relax for a while.
But like, walk me through like a day, like as a barber. You wake up, you take a shit.
So usually, a lot of my clients book starting appointments like around 11, 10. So I usually wake up like around 10, take a shower, take my dump, you know. I get ready, you know, I come down here, set up, clean my station, and then my first client gets here. And sometimes I have like openings from a client to a client, like an hour, 2 hours. And then between that time, probably just make myself a little snack or help out my mom, like make something to eat. And I'd be cutting sometimes till 8 in the afternoon, sometimes even till 12, till midnight. It's crazy, dude. Being a barber is like a jumping schedule. You have to have a super flexible schedule because if you're not there at certain times, clients will go other places, you know? Yeah. So you always have to be there and be ready for a cut.
So that's probably like another con that you think
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you have
Definitely being here at the house, but being in a shop, I usually have my hours.
So you know how you said like you're always on the jump and shit. I asked this another question. Everybody's gonna be probably pissed off. Like, damn, this boy recycling all these questions. But it's something like I want people to know too. Like, it's a question like my homie Gio, they're from Messiah. He mentioned it at the beginning, the first interview, the first episode, basically. He said, "Oh, I always feel like I'm clocked in. Like, do you feel like that as like, do you feel like as a bad way?" He told me that's what he said. He said he thinks of it as a good way, but as a bad way because it's like you're always thinking about what's next. But at the same time, it's a good way because you're always trying to progress.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way too?
I do, but I'm also, if I have something going on, I'm gonna just take my time off, dude. Honestly, I'm not gonna, give up a good situation for a haircut. You could always reschedule a haircut, but a memory or a good time out with someone special or something like that, I will for surely go. And reschedule an appointment.
Makes sense.
You always have to have your time,
It's like you got to moderate business work, and then your personal life. Because if not, like, I mean, I think that's what we're all doing this for. Like, we're all trying to live life for, like, with our close ones and everything. And it's like if you overwork yourself, when is that time gonna be? Like all that money, like
for nothing,
honestly.
All that time too, man. It's just
it's
time
precious.
runs out, dude.
Yeah.
Time runs out.
I mean, I feel like we're young. I'm 20. You're about to be 20, right?
Yeah.
About to be 21 next month. So it's like, there's time. Like we gotta notice, like, oh, like it's limited at one point. Like when we're like 16, like how some of these kids, like youngins that are watching, like they don't know it yet because it's like it don't hit you until like after you
graduate.
You graduate and you're like, damn.
Time fucking flies, bro. It really does, man. It's crazy. I miss high school, bro.
So is that like another thing you want to tell them, like use your time wisely, basically?
Yes, for sure, bro. Cause before you know it, bro, you're gonna be paying bills and shit, gas weekly, bro. You're gonna have $100, $200 in your pocket, and it's gonna feel like you're broke, man. It sucks. But it's just life, bro. It's growing up.
It's like, I mean, we wanted this at one point.
Yeah, bro.
As kids were like, man, can't wait till I graduate.
I know.
And then it hits us and we're like, damn, what the fuck?
I want to go back.
Let's go back real quick.
Yeah.
Alright, so we talked about everything we needed to talk about. What do you, like, where can the people find you at, like, with social medias and everything? Like, plug all your apps.
So, my IG for seeing all my cuts and everything is called Julian _duh with DA Barber 14, and you can see I usually post a lot of daily haircuts on my Snapchat, which is JJ Rod _1401, and also you can always go here and call here, and they will help you find me. That's about it.
So what do you think? What's next what's the next move for you? What do you think?
Definitely getting my license and then switching barbershops.
Alright, so who did we film with today? Plug my ad.
Oh shit.
Like Savage Visuals.
Savage Visuals, bro. What is it? Do you have a number on the side? No, just Savage Visuals?
No, it's just Savage Visuals.
Savage Visuals. Plug it, bro. Alright, that's it. Alright.